Dari is in loads of trouble, and I think the reason why Ray lost is because I mispronounced all the names, and they are very angry, and they intentionally lost this game just because of that. So let's get serious and pronounce their names correctly. It's probably not the case of me mispronouncing their names while they are losing, but Messi! Taking 631 his. Oh, he's getting pushed by both CU and also AAA. I think that is the signal for Ray to actually get aggressive into B. But Cobalt misses and crashes onto the rock, but made an important bounce from Hori, and he made a good shell into Cephalin. Cephalin, who is going to die first? Oh, great chromatic! Bounces onto Maddox, but Cephalin couldn't finish off Maddox. But this time, Feast is going to make the push. We're going to see a push over to Lovefu. Lovefu by the first tank down for IX. Maddox is going to be the sole focus for Cats, and Maddox needs to drop down in this case. He cannot stay there for too long. Feast have the cap lead here this time. 890 for them, but Bifrost might be the next tank down. It's getting really messy here. But CX is trying to put a shell. I think he misses. But Bifrost is also down. CXC is also down 175, 180. Cats on the cusp of a victory here. 990. They need to kill a tank. 995. And it's a win for Cats. They won the second round. However, IX are pretty spread out. If the mediums relay that information, that means Feast are rushing on the C side, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. 4 vs 3. Maddox is going to get rushed by both Lapide and Lovefu, and this is going to be really close. This is still very close to call. Cobalt needs to run away, but he's low. But a good track shot into Excromatic, but he got shot by Excromatic though. Oh, is he going to land an Shell? No! That Shell bounces, but Tempted Fate bounces as well. He's going in. Is he able to do a Circle of Death? Good Shell, but is he going to be close enough? No! Tempted Fate is down. But Retty already making a move to rush both Money Dude and OG projects. Will they buy enough time to absorb the rush, and so that Raid will be quick enough to rotate back and support those E5s, because they don't have a lot of time left. But Eaglejack is going to rush down the middle here. Oh no, is it another mistake? It's another mistake! JP finishes Eaglejack off, and the first game goes to Raid! He got shot by both Eaglejack. He is in loads of trouble. If they know Raid's going to push A, they can simply push out Messi, and Drizzle might be in some sort of trouble here. But SYS are running away, and Raid's going for A instead. And now SYS are going to make a push, and there's a big push coming in. I'm not sure if Raid's going to survive this one. Raid Messi, all tracked on the way. He's the first tank down. Money Dude here. He's going to the back side of the SYS. Look at the backside showing them. Oh my goodness, SYS are in trouble. Their push is getting denied heavily. Money Dude is going to finish Alexa. He finishes Alexa. Mediums are definitely trapped. Going to land a good shell into Arcade, and a fire scored. And SYS almost did it, but they couldn't quite cut the cheese. And that's a wrong phrase, because cut the cheese means fart, so they didn't fart, of course. They couldn't cut the mustard. Enough. look at that. He took a hit. 384. 2 hits. 3 hits. They got A. Feast got A. Juicy, he's isolating himself by 4 tanks. Juicy is a focus actually, but that reactive armor and Boom bouncing is going to buy them some time. For both Eyeline and Topcat to Cobalt. Oh, Bifrost going very aggressive here. Oh, he got shot by 440, but he tagged up both Eyeline and Rubber Chicken here. They can't get C at this point though. Only 982, 942. They killed 1 tank. Nari is in loads of trouble. And I think the reason why Ray lost is because I mispronounced all the names and they're very angry and they intentionally lost this game just because of that. So let's get serious and pronounce the names correctly. It's probably not the case of me mispronouncing the names while they are losing. But Messi taking 631 his. Oh, he's getting pushed by both CU and also AAA. I think that is the signal for Ray to actually get aggressive into B. But Cobalt misses and crashes onto the rock, but made an important bounce by from Hori, and he made a good shell into Cephalin. Cephalin, who is going to die first? Oh, great chromatic! Bounces onto Maddox, but Cephalin couldn't finish off Maddox. But this time, Feast is going to make the push. We're going to see a push over to Lovefu. Lovefu by the first tank down for IX. Maddox is going to be the sole focus for Cats, and Maddox needs to drop down in this case. He cannot stay there for too long. Feast have the cap lead here this time. 890 for them, but Bifrost might be the next tank down. It's getting really messy here. But CX is trying to put a shell. I think he misses. But Bifrost is also down. CX is also down 175, 180. Cats on the cusp of a victory here. 990. They need to kill a tank. 995. And it's a win for Cats. They won the second round. However, IX are pretty spread out. If the mediums relay that information, that means Feast are rushing on the C side, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. 4 vs 3. Maddox is going to get rushed by both Lapide and Lovefu, and this is going to be really close. This is still very close to call. Cobalt needs to run away, but he's low. But a good track shot into Excromatic, but he got shot by Excromatic though. Oh, is he going to land Egg Shell? No! That Egg Shell bounces, but Tempted Fate bounces as well. He's going in. Is he able to do a circle of death? Good Egg Shell, but is he going to be close enough? No! Tempted Fate is down. But Reddy already making a move to rush both Money Dude and OG projects. Will they buy enough time to absorb the rush, and so that Raid will be quick enough to rotate back and support those E5s, because they don't have a lot of time left. But Eaglejack is going to rush down the middle here. Oh no, is it another mistake? It's another mistake! JP finishes Eaglejack off, and the first game goes to Raid! He gets shot. He got shot by both Eaglejack. He is in loads of trouble. If they know Raid's going to push A, they can simply push out Messi, and Drizzle might be in some sort of trouble here. But SYS are running away, and Raid's going for A instead. And now SYS are going to make a push, and there's a big push coming in. I'm not sure if Raid's going to survive this one. Raid Messi, all tracked on the way. He's the first tank down. Monitored here. He's going to the back side of the SYS. Look at the back side showing them. Oh my goodness, SYS are in trouble. Their push is getting denied heavily. Monitored is going to finish Alexa. He finishes Alexa. Mediums are definitely trapped. Going to land a good shell into Arcade, and a fire scored. And SYS almost did it, but they couldn't quite cut the cheese. And that's a wrong phrase, because cut the cheese means farting. They didn't fart, of course. They couldn't cut the mustard. Enough. No!
I've been working, you complaining, feel the pressure crashing over me. I understand you're losing patience, cause it feels like an eternity. Just think of the foreign cars and those golden stars on the sidewalk. We'll throw all the bills away, cause that shit's all paid, it's exciting. So won't you tell me, what are you thinking? Let me pick apart your mind. If you feel the way I do, tell me, won't you tell me now? Won't you tell me now? Won't you tell me now? You've been telling all your friends that I don't treat you like you think I should. But you know that, girl, I want you, that this life with me is not secure. Just think of the foreign cars and those golden stars on the sidewalk. We'll throw all the bills away, cause that shit's all paid, it's exciting. So won't you tell me, what are you thinking? Let me pick apart your mind. If you feel the way I do, tell me, won't you tell me now? Won't you tell me now? Won't you tell me now? Yeah, you were right this time, you were right this time. Take a look around, look what you did last night. What you did last night, never heard a sound. Yeah, I know that you told me one day you'd show that you were right this time, you were right this time. Oh no, now the truth comes out and I know that you warned me about it. Shallow, you were only ever in for yourself, yeah, in for yourself. Oh great, fantastic, you mastered it all. Lie like you plastic, but that it's so long. Over your antics, you struck me wrong. I hope that you're
Oh, that's why no audio. That's why. Oh, thank you. But that's why you can't hear me anything. Oof. Right, still very horrible viewership. Well, we'll see if we have more people joining in. But tonight, so far, the viewership has been abysmal. Uh, only one or two people are watching this. I hope we have more joining soon because we really want audience. And this is not looking good, to be honest with you. Professor now in the T22. Vietnam back in the IS4 with lots of changes for GV at the moment. Vietnam is back in on the subs bench, not spectating, however. Right, we have Manila, Montpellier, and Rome in the triple IS4, Berlin, Moscow in the double mouse, and Liski in the VK72.01K. On the other side, we have Aries in the IS4 alongside Libra and Virgo. Aquarius will be in the mouse alongside Cancer, Chimpanzee, and Sagittarius. Now, yeah, the audio should be back right now because I forgot to kind of switch on problems with the stream, yes. Just a manual problem. Good thing is not a lot of people watching this, so that won't last for long. Right, GV going mostly to C, while RN this time have a lot more tanks on A. And now Ares, his spotted Professor, might be in some sort of trouble if he's not careful enough. Ares just in the ice full barreling in into A, but RN actually in the end went back into C. And we're going to see what's going to happen, but a really good show from Ares into Professor. Ares trading better in this respect, and Professor might be holding on too long to get the information and took some damage there. Now, Aaron's getting A, while GV now getting C, but GV has 2 tanks to get C. But Aaron will get the cap lead first because GV went into C for a later time. At a later time, but got the cap reset but by Cancer. Aaron has the cap point advantage at the moment and also hit point pool advantage. Aaron just holding on very, very nicely here. Nothing much has been happening around Ares. This platform here potentially to reset B, but there is no one over here to reset, so potentially GV just need to capture at the right side of this circle from my perspective here, and maybe they won't get reset, but Aquarius is very aggressive here as well. The mouse here, both RN and GV are not dropping a lot of hit points at the moment. Hit points still neck and neck. Double Ice Force at the back side, RN. Their forces might be a little bit spread out here, but GV, if they know this information, they can just push immediately to one side. So we saw GV dropping more and more hit points here. Liski dropping a big hit points to Libra. Liski needs to be really careful. Professor saying go and flank to the right. And that's what they're doing right now. Ares might need to be really careful here, but the mouses are here to spot them up. And Ares, because he knows that GV are rotating to the other side, he's running away and trying to hold a good horizontal straight line with those mouses. The Chimpanzee needs to be really careful here, but that means Libra, Virgo, and Cancer going for C. And Sagittarius is going for B as well. RN dropping lots of hit points while doing that. Professor during the backside of Virgo got hit by the GV forces. Now all 3 caps are captured by RN, but the Aquarius and Chimpanzee are in some sort of trouble here. Hit points still very neck and neck, but Aquarius and Chimpanzee might be shut down by the GV's forces now. RN forces need to come in and support Aquarius and Chimpanzee, and the Mouse are doing that exactly. Rome is going to kill off Aquarius potentially, but RN's forces are not going for Rome here. They're going for Berlin and Moscow, and Aquarius can hold for so long here, and he might be down to Rome potentially, and he's down to Rome. But RN has a lot of hit point advantage here. Solid 2k of hit point advantage now, not more than 2k. They need to be really careful not to draw any more hit points. Chimpanzee doing very well in holding off the forces of GV. But Sagittarius need not to drop any more hit points, because now GV managed to pull back the hit point pool lead. Not really, but managed to pull back a little bit. Kraken now in the chat. Hello there, Rome. Montpellier is going into Sagittarius, and he's going to be down very soon. Sagittarius, I don't know where that shot hit though, and he's down finally. Hit points still in favor of RN, but less than 1k of hit point advantage. Rome is trying to brawl Cancer here. Cancer is unable to put a shell in, but Rome is dead. Virgo and Manila is also one shot. Aries is going to kill off Manila, and Manila is killed off. RN has the second game, and RN are through to the next round. And there we go, GV trying their best. The rotation there got, however, totally outsported by RN. Should they have rotated at a longer distance, that rotation would not have been spotted by RN, and RN would not have a response to that. And RN just knew exactly what GV was trying to do and made a fabulous response. But they left Chimpanzee and also I think it's Chimpanzee and also Aquarius horribly isolated there. But they managed to come in time, but they actually paid a little bit in focusing down the mouses of the GV forces. But in the end, RN came on top. So it's 2-0 to RN. Let's see. Okay, better viewership, so it's good. Let's actually refresh this, and we're going to show you results on the other side. Okay, so we also know HLV are through to the next round. Those still playing against Feast. ID still playing against KDS. So I've updated the cups already, and also I will update the results. And here should be the new, the latest one. It's boring, true. So GV are out, NIC are out. The leaderboard is now as follows. Now NIC are out, so all the clans outside of top 8 are not going to be earning a lot more, going to be earning cups, and KDS will be safe in the top 8, regardless of their results for tonight. And RN is going to pull off with 30,798 cups. That's a lot here. It's going to wait for other results on other teams and clans. Right, so we have I will analyze the matches of is it it's going to be KDS versus Cats. So there we go. Well, we have Sep 2 E5. So let me just change it. There we go. Across the board. And that's a lot. Oh, stop here. That's a lot of E5s here. 4 E5s on the enemy team, and the Vic is light. So KDS can have a lot of control over the hill area, and it's really good for E5 just because it's slightly undulating as well. Rotation wise, if they don't have cat leads, E5s is a good time to rotate. Cats though, they have a lot of IS4s, so there probably would be well, I only have 3 IS4s and triple E5s and then Vicus Light, so potentially they have similar lineup as KDS, so it's all down to the focus fire and the shot effectiveness here. The tank diversity is so good that you're going to sleep from that, which is yeah. Cats double S4 into A, and would that be a good choice? We'll see. Would that be a good choice? Let me stop here. Can we? I mean, here's my full of thoughts here. You can go with the heavy tanks to capture the base at the start. But you need to be careful that you might get if the KDS is doing a strat over the city, then you might need to be prepared to kind of have everyone going to support the IS force. That's the only problem here. But before I did that a lot with heavy tanks, just because if you put a light tank to do that instead, then what you will see is that you're wasting a tank on the hillside to get the information up, to spot up whether the forces of the enemies are going to city or not. And I think it's important because you know whether they are going city or not, and you can respond with that. So I would prefer that you have a light going up to the hillside, getting the shots in very early on for your team, and yeah, 2 heavies to capture the A base is good idea here. So, Cats, let's see how they're going to work with that. Okay, but Cats, they don't have. Wait, do they not have voice chat? Canada spotted. Cannot put a shell into Canada, necromancer, but that does but then Canada, this is really let's rewind a bit. The route that Canada is taking. If you can see it, he took a really weird route. But Cats, they don't have. No, you don't take that route like that, because Necromancer is spotting him up. He just relayed the information that someone's going for B. Yeah, and this is a very bad route. You should want to stick close to the red line. In that way, you probably won't get spotted. But if you want to go for B cap at the start, why don't you do it at the start? And like, why do you do it like later on? Because you can't respot anything over this position. No, you probably won't be able to spot anything. So like the Vickers Light here, I just don't understand what he's trying to do here. Wait, do they not have voice chat? Canada spotted. Cannot put a shell into Canada, necromancer, but that doesn't really well. Oh, and also, if you know that the Vec is like going to be, then the ace can be safe there, just because, you know, if you send the Vec is like down to the city, the enemy team probably won't be in the city because why would you have like all 7 tanks there, like and then the Vec is like also going for the cap, and then spotting nothing on the hill. here, well, it's going to be very weird. You just kind of gamble that the enemies are not going to do are not going to do anything. I don't know. It's just a bit weird for me. Well, that matters a bit because the Vegas Lights, they don't have a lot of hit points. First big shell into that would kind of cripple the effectiveness of that tank a bit. Ace now captured, they have the hit point, they have the cap lead. Necroman's spotting up. This is a really good position. But the problem is you need to be careful that you're showing the underbelly of your tank. We saw it before with US in the STB1. Very, very effective position there. But you probably need to be careful with the. I mean, you probably won't get a shot or two because it's very steep, and even with 10 degrees of depression, that gun might not work effectively. But we'll see. Got Boki and Bloodline, Chicken So Beautiful. They're in some sort of trouble. KDS. Those triple E5s. What are they doing here? This is interesting from KDS. They potentially are aiming whoever is trying to cross. Oh, the E5s there need to be really careful. That doesn't look like a good position. But the E5s might be in trouble. They need to be careful not to get shot by those E5s over that side. At the moment, they're well shielded. But now, Cats... The problem with the Cat strategy, he's going very defensive here. They're not even going for safe. I mean, now they probably won't have... probably will lose a lot of cap lead here. See, not getting capped. I really don't know what they're trying to do here because you usually will be in position to reset tier, something like that, and push your lineup really aggressively. You have a lot of heavy tanks. I mean, enemies are putting up the similar lineup, so don't really understand why you'll go very defensively here. Playing very defensively, I don't know what they're trying to do here because now KDS will have C, and they now have the cap lead. Do they not have Discord and communicating because they're communicating through the game chat? Or is there something wrong with Discord? Okay, the reason why I always say communicate through Discord instead of the game chat is because you need to type in game chat, and on the mobile device you need to spend some seconds in doing that. While on the voice you just spend less than a second to announce your move, or announce your situation. And if you need to type, you're going to spend like 10 times more of the time than you probably would speaking in the chat. So definitely Discord's much better in that. If you don't have Discord, TeamSpeak is also good, or maybe even Microsoft Teams. I don't know. Moment. Yep, Pokemon, Chicken So Beautiful, spotted. Eyelion and Get in the Kitchen spotted. Cat's going very defensive. They don't have hit point. They don't have cap lead. They have a slight hit point pool advantage. KDS just hand hold and they will win. Houston. And this is turning out to be an uneventful, very uneventful at the moment. And this is going to get the thing I think KDS are trying to do is kind of get a really good front line here over to this area. So they're waiting on Cats to make a rotation down and then going up. But that is usually not a good idea because usually if you want to rotate down the bottom, then you need to go in a really exposed position, and with this kind of front line here, you just get heavily punished while doing so. So the only way that Cats can rotate from the upside, from the hillside. What I could think that Cats could do is that Cats could just two ideas: capture B first or capture B later. If you want to capture B first, that means you draw the KDS forces down to reset your base. But then you can just set a vacuum slide to do so, and that's nothing. You don't need to worry too much. Second idea is to actually rush from this side first, and then capture B later. But the problem is, there are 7 tanks on the KDS team, and that means Necromancer will be out of this battle for a really long time. And you can just assign maybe an E5, I don't know, to kind of look at this area here. So in the end, KDS they don't need to do too much about that. They just need to make sure they don't isolate their tanks, and they will be fine. And make sure they need to kind of regroup when cats are trying to rush through the hillside. Get boring, but I don't know why it would get boring because KDS can win by caps if cats do nothing. However, what cats could do in this situation, everyone's been saying they should, been saying to ASP they should rush earlier. But something that a lot of clans haven't done yet is that they can rush at the very last minute, kill one tank, get the cap lead back up, then they will win. But that's not the case. They only have they have 2 caps to kill. Bloodline's getting focused now. Now, the KDS, now the lineup is in some sort of trouble here, because they have 2 isolated tanks, the Bloodline and also the Bogeyman. So that means cats just have to kind of crowd these 2 tanks, and the KDS formation doesn't seem to be a good one. Maybe, what KDS could do is just kind of support them, through going here. Yeah. Yeah, or maybe even here to kind of wrap around. So, KDS needs to get the formation up back soon. Otherwise, they're going to isolate themselves. What is Necromancer doing here? Down is spotted. Focus fire. Cats need the focus fire. They can't afford to have. That's what exactly they did, and that's really good. Idea from KDS. Even better, I think they're just going past and then just going through like that. But so that means the cat's team needs to bury in essence possible. They can't stop, potentially. Poor focus fire. Are they going to focus Bloodline? The triple Y is force barreling in, a lot of bounces happening. They need to get the efficiency right. Bloodline down to potentially. Yeah, the focus fire isn't the best for cats because they're 4 versus 2. They really need to get a focus fire right, and they need to keep on pushing. The E5s are flanking from behind. One shots, cats barreling in. Necromancer maybe going for Bloodline here. And it's now bounce from cats into the Bloodline, get into kitchen. Instead, KDS, the counter rotation is working for them. Cats to push haven't worked so far. And Juicy is going to be down very soon, and he's down. Midix is very isolated, and KDS is going to win by caps at the moment. Oh, cats allowing them to cap B. Right, so in the end, it was cats unable to kind of make a good punch over to KDS and allowing KDS to capture 2 base at the start, which is very, very weird, given that the cats are able to like reset C on the hill if they go a little bit more aggressive, and the lineup's very similar, so I don't understand why they would go defensive. And KDS, they managed to kind of regroup very quickly, and that's really strong stuff from them, actually. I think I got a room up, so let's hop in. Oh, we are seeing some different things here. Okay, there we go. We have ID21 against KDS, and we have Feast 2-0 against Low. KDS first time, apart from the previous skill tournaments, to be out of the first round. So well done to ID here, and Feast well done to them as well. And a new table here, now ID would have 29,088 cups, and would they overtake GB today? We will see. So the room is here, so we're going to be on Oasis Palms. We're going to brief that map for you guys. Oasis Palms. This is the Oasis Palms map for you. TDs might be good idea for this map, just because it's a very open area, and if you're a little bit careless, then you will get punished by that TD. So usually a TD is advised on the Oasis Palms, just because it's pretty large and pretty open as well. If you want cap lead, if you want to play for cap pressure, potentially A is a better idea, just because like you can try to kind of play around with B or something like that. And hold down here could be really interesting here. But then you need to be careful because it's prone to mistakes here. Map control, I definitely recommend C, just because if you don't have you don't have cap lead, you can always rotate without getting spotted so far at the back, so on the battlefield. These buildings will act as spotting barrier for the tanks over to the A side. Okay, my computer is a bit slow. While on the other hand, if you were to rotate to C, chances are you will get spotted very early on here, and the terrain over on C, it's really good for defending, I would say. And you can recruit very quickly once you get the information up. So potentially, map control clients would like to go C. Cap control, I think A is better. Okay, we have a lot more viewers, 10 viewers, so that's really good. So going to bring the map off, and then I will bring the poll up. So just please vote in the chat. Which clan will win this fixture? KDS are out, so that's good to well, I wouldn't say it's good to hear because it will be disrespectful for the KDS clan, but you know they are, you know, right? So here is the lineup for you guys. Before I do that, let me reset the score before I forget. On Oasis Palms, ID going with double 50Bs played by Active Duty and Plurielica. Chitsuru is my waifu. Okay. In the E5 alongside Van Persie, we have Gayam in the Vicky's Lights. KDS are out, yes. Vicky's Lights we played by Gayam, Lanny in the IS4, and IDS in the Mouse. On the RN side, we have Cancer in the IS4 alongside Sagittarius, Aries in the Hori, Chimpanzee in the Mouse, and Gemini in the E5, Virgo in the T22, and Toyota Time back in the Vegas Lights. Cats couldn't make it. Yes, they couldn't make it. I'm sorry to hear. But dogs could make it potentially. I'm going to save very soon. 3, and then let's go. Transition. I wonder how the double 50B would work in this case, because Pro 50B is that it's very fragile. But then if you have good clip around, then this tank could do a lot of wonderful things with the burst damage and so on, the Hello Biscuit. So we got more people up, that's really good to see. ID, a lot of tanks going for A, the double E5 the game going C, and Virgo going C as well. He's already spotted though, needs to be really careful, Game to spot it up, and he's running away from C. We also see Gemini and Sagittarius going for C as well, while Toyota Time really wanted to get a spot up. He got spots on IDS and Lani, and he's running away immediately. That's really good. No, he's not running away immediately. He's wanting to get more information up. He's running away finally. But this is going to be interesting because, well, one of the teams gets a cat leader start. But we're going to see 2 tanks overlooking to B area. Sagittarius also spotted IDS, who spotted as well. Puts a good shell into Sagittarius. And without a cap point, hit point advantage, Sagittarius taking more hits. Plurielica taking 871. Could he put another shell in? Oh, Florielica receives a miss or bounce from the Gemini. The heavies aren't the best tanks for sniping from afar. But now hit points, oh no, Chimpanzee dropping more hit points. To Unity time, getting more spots in at the moment, but now there are lots of heavy tanks over to the desert side. And Ares, is he able to put a shell into the E5 though? Let's head down. Maybe potentially he just needs a good spot, but we're also seeing some hit points dropping around for Van Persie and the mouse. Gemini might be a little bit isolated, but a good shell into Van Persie, but Gemini and Sagittarius might be in some sort of trouble here. Van Persie getting tagged, Sagittarius and also Gemini are not very healthy at the moment. Another miss, oh, bounce from Sagittarius onto Chizuru. Sagittarius is in loads and loads of trouble, and I think he needs to stop dropping hit points, but he's not in a good position to do so. Van Persie getting a little bit confused into which direction he wants to go for. Time needs to be really careful going after Dune here, but he's not getting punished for that. Cancer in the ditch here, very isolated, but Florielica is down. It's going to be 5 versus 7. Chimpanzees now getting rushed. The mouse there, he's going to do his job here, but Cancer, he might be taken down by Chitsuru potentially. And he's taken down by Chitsuru. Chimpanzee taking a big hit. He's now getting rushed. Game's now getting rushed by the RN forces here. Toyota Time and Virgo against Game. Chimpanzee is down. And that Corey is putting a lot of good damage into the ID's forces, and now Game is down. Chitsuru might be looking over to Virgo, takes a big shell. Virgo takes a big shell here, but Virgo puts a really good shell into Chitsuru, and Active Unity takes a big shell from an Ares here. Cap points an advantage of ID, but Toyota Time needs to be careful because he's now getting rushed by both Lanny and IDS. Virgo needs some good. Oh no, Toyota Time took a double tap by the ID's forces. Oh, Toyota Time is going to be not long for this world. And puts a really good shell to Active Duty. Is 4 versus 4 here, but Chizuru is getting taken down by RN. Ares is not in a really good position. He is actually down, and Mouse still very healthy. Virgo needs to come in to support, while Gemini is trying to toy around the IDS forces here. They really need to get Active Duty down as soon as possible. But really good shell. Oh, Ares taking a big hit while trying to shoot and punish Lanny. Hit points not in favor of RN at all. They need to be really careful. Absolutely need to be careful here. Ares looking into Lanny. Puts a really good track shot. Lanny bounces or misses onto Ares. But Active Duty is down. Hori, Ares has another shell in, but he got taken down by IDS. Hit points is not in favor of RN at all. And the Virgo wants to kill off IDS as soon as possible. And Gemini got taken down. It's going to be 1 versus 1. Virgo has 700 hit points, but his priority will be to kill off Lanny instead of. Oh, Virgo bounces. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Yes. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! And Virgo got killed by Lanny first game to ID. Oh man, Vicky's Light traversing into the desert like that. I think it was the punishment that Aaron has given to them. Si Young Kun is the other commentator for tonight here. First game to ID. Is ID back for this? But RN, they haven't done that, to be honest with you. If the time didn't go in like that, potentially they would have a lot more bargaining power here. But Hori did, I think, a lot of damage here potentially, but he bounced a lot as well. will miss this a lot as well. Hori actually did almost 5k of damage, so you definitely need a TD here on Oasis Palms. Very important job he's doing here. Wow, I'm going to see a change here. RN dropping the Hori, which I don't know why, because it worked for them. Cancer now going in the IS4, Aries 2 and 5B, Chimpanzee, Mouse, Gemini in the E5, Libra in the IS4, Virgo T22, and Toyota Time, the Vicus Light. ID going with triple IS4s played by Chitsuru, Lenia, Realica. They definitely know that the 50Bs on there didn't work really well, which I definitely could see that, because I couldn't really see any significant damage put up by them. But game going with 1-3 alongside Van Persie, active duty in E5 and IDS in the mouse. The ID going with no mediums or lights, and that could put them in a really terrible situation here, because Oasis Palms is a really big map and it's a very open map, and you definitely need that lights and mediums to spot up the map for you guys. And that openness is definitely going to be not working in favor of ID at all. And let's see if Ara is going to make something out of the mediums and lights, because they will be the main tanks that's going to get them the information and the damage, to be honest with you here. An ID, with that kind of lineup, it's obvious to think that they're going to A, and aggressively to A, while Aaron can just capture C very quickly though, unless they are worried about them going the other side. But Toyota Time getting really good spots. He gets spotted as well. Is he going to get punished? He's not getting punished. He's not even going for C. I don't know why. No one's going for C. He could get C, get cap lead, potentially, because ID might be getting cap lead. And now Toyota Time getting spotted once again. He needs to be careful going up the dunes like that. So he's going to give me some nightmares here. But now A is going to get captured, but only one tank. I don't know why. ID going in immediately. Now RA without the CD, I think that would put them in some sort of trouble here. Now C is captured. Now ID capturing B as well. Chimpanzee took a big hit while trying to move back. And ID is taking 430 while doing that. So, and RN already barreling into these two isolated IS4s. I need to get the focus fire right. Virgo taking a big hit, 873 on the crossfire. Chitsuru is the target they want to focus for. And that mouse here is there to absorb shots, and first tank down, Chitsuru is down, Gemini is going up to avoid getting shot by IDS took 1,123 damage, and Lenny's down set and Amorak. 2,000 damage in total taken, but I don't think it's an Amorak potentially. His turret has stayed intact, but IDS is down finally. This time ID losing 3 tanks while RN lost nothing. Van Persie taking a lot of hits there, and Chimpanzee holding on really nicely. He is very important in his job, and active duty getting tracked here, and now Iron's forces going into active duty for Realica, trying to chase Virgo, but maybe it's not the target they want to focus on. However, Iron still doesn't have the cap lead at the moment, although they killed 4 tanks at the moment. Now they have cap lead, but they need to be careful not to lose the game to caps. But now active duty now down to Virgo here. Cancer is going to kill active duty potentially. He killed active duty, but Gemini wasted his shot onto the corpse here, and Realica is the last man standing. ID, oh, that backfired for them completely. They have no mediums and lights, and they have 2 IS4 sitting at the back for no reason at all. They should have just followed the ID's forces. They just rushed them immediately, and this is a much more dominant performance by RN, with Aries in with over 3k alongside Gemini. Cancer, Realica, although doing more than 3k, IDS, Van Persie, Chitsuru, and Alani doing less than 1k each. No T22. Oh, T22. Question mark, question mark. And now we are on Naval Frontier. Let's brief the map of Naval Frontier for you guys. Naval Frontier is a map, just be very quick. Going seaside, if you want cap lead, go to A. If you want map control, go for C. Yeah. So this is the map for you guys. Simple as that. Map control C, cap control A and B. Just because the map control for C, you have um, a very open terrain to work with, and you have lots of flanks to defend actually. So inherently defending C is hard, but then you might get a lot of information of the enemy tank spotting from somewhere. And rotation wise, I really love rotating from C back to A, just because you won't get spotted at a very far position. So let's bring the map off, and are we going to see something different? Okay, the viewership is much better, of course. I really love that. Now peak concurrence 16. I mean, very good. Thank you for the support. Let's get more, shall we? ID taking double 50Bs by active duty IDS, Chitsuru with the double IS7 alongside Lani, Gayam T22, Florielica, Vicky Snipe, Van Persie in the E5. RNT, we're going to see very soon what they're going to take. RN going with Triple IS Force, played by Cancer, Gemini, and Libra. T22 will be played by Virgo. Aquarius will be played by... what? Aquarius will be playing E5 alongside Chimpanzee, and Toyota Time will be playing Vicky's Light. Let's head up. Now, ID going for A and B, while RN's going for C, potentially. And that means ID will be looking to play for cap lead, and RN will be looking to play for the map control. And let's see, Toyota Time, he spots up 2 tanks. He's not shooting anything. He doesn't want to expose his position there. But if these heavy tanks got spotted, they knew someone is in that bush. So potentially, Toyota Time could just shoot and expose his position, potentially. But blind fire into nothingness. No TDs taken by ID, so definitely no one's will be there. But Chisuru took a big hit already. Oh, Cancer is there. Oh, they need to be careful. Cancer in a really aggressive, really defensive. No, I don't know how to say, but he's isolated potentially. Gemini, Virgo, and Aquarius taking a bit of hit there. From somewhere. Oh, from here. They need to be really careful. Van Persie taking a hit from Libra. Libra didn't get punished for doing so. ID, Van Persie needs to be really careful, and Cancer is taking some hits there. Our ends forces are very spread out at the moment. And ID, they just need to consolidate for forces, bunch up together, and maybe they could push on one side. Libra needs to be really careful going up like that. If he gets spotted, he might get tagged. Oh, Van Persie getting spotted. And the 50Bs are getting ready for a push maneuver potentially. Naval Frontier might be a good map for that because it's more concealed. And Chitsuru is low as well. This is going to be a double affair, but Aaron with a cap advantage here. And Gemini is going into the bush to spot up anyone in the bush as well. Florielica needs to be really careful here. Gemini is spotted. Is he going to get shots? He needs to be really careful. He's not going to get shots. He is careful. Oh no, he's not careful enough. Lanny puts a really big shell into Gemini. And now Iron doesn't have the hit point pool advantage. Iron needs to stop dropping hit points before it's proving too much for them to handle. ID with a hit point advantage, that would mean they have an advantage in the pushing as well. But Libra needs to be really careful here. He doesn't want to receive any more hits, potentially. The double 50B is still at the back, waiting for the time to rotate. Gayam can punish Libra if he wants to. Libra still getting spotted. Plurielica already rotating back from the spawn to the other side. Van Persie still holding on, but Libra is very aggressive in the active DOT, and also the push, the rotation of ID has been spotted though. RN, do they have a response to that? Libra, it's potentially in some sort of trouble here, and I think RN, they knew something's going on, but they need to be careful. Those 50Bs can kill off a tank very quickly, and RN, I think this is not going to be good, because now they're now going to face the tanks. Oh, Aquarius very low. But equally, Plurielica is very low. Virgo is going for. Aquarius is down. Virgo is going for Plurielica. Toyota time is horrendously isolated. And RN, potentially, they might be in some sort of trouble here. Oh dear, Plurielica bumped into the obstacle. This is turning out to be very messy. Toyota flying off from the bridge. IDS with the full clip ready. Ready to kind of decapitate Toyota time here. Toyota time is finally down, and IDS is on a drum reload. Game is now very, very low. Hit point wise, still neck and neck. ID has another cap here, and Game is down. Virgo is trying to run off from the 50Bs. 50Bs, both of them are trying to put their clip into Virgo here. Virgo, hang on. They don't want to lose any more tanks because the cap points are taking against their favor. Our N are in loads of trouble here. And now active duty is down. Counter is trying to go for B for a cap stop. But our N, they only have 950. Oh dear, Cancer is killed. They need to kill one tank immediately. Libra and Gemini going for that. ID 975. Still very close to call, and ID has killed Virgo. ID are through to the next round. Oh man, shall ID not win that? I probably would say, shall ID not lose one tank there? They could have snatched this one, but it wasn't the case. ID captured B, and that was very important for them. And RN's respawn to a potential rotation from ID. I sense it could go very wrong. It did go somewhat wrong, but ID, it was a very tense affair in the end. But Shao, RN didn't lose that. IS4 dead could have won this though. This is very intense indeed, and ID are definitely back in this one. Do we have other results for you guys? HLV versus Feast. Okay, Feast 2-0 against HLV. Finals ID against Feast. So HLV will be playing RN in the match for 3rd place. So ID been playing well tonight, although that second game on the Oasis Palms, very questionable lineup to be honest with you. 3rd game, that rotation got spotted by ID, but RN didn't have a really good response to that rotation potentially. There we go. And before I continue, I will change something. So you probably won't hear me talking a bit, but that doesn't mean I'm dead. I'm just changing up stuff for my stream. And if I just remove these scorelines, that would be really nice indeed. Right, for those who just joined in here, tonight, although I'm following RN, but we are now following the finals, so RN will be playing against HLV in the third place match. Just a brief summary. Previous year, all games are played in best of 3. Tournaments run in groups of single elimination knockout stage, and the tournament see the average win rates of members in the team. And if I remember correctly, it's the top 7 of that in the team. So we can't kind of rake the seeding to a lower one. So at the end of the tournament, a certain number of cups are given to the clan that the team is registered for, and the number of cups will determine the leaderboard position of that clan. So the top 8 of that will advance to the next stage, the Blitz Cup preliminaries, and one previous skill tournament spread out across 2 consecutive days. The first day, there are at most 16 teams in one group, and the top 4 of each group will advance to the next to the games held on the second day. Which, for the second day, there are at most 32 teams in one group, and all games are played in supremacy mode. The number of cups for you, we are going to see which team is going to get 2011 cups. And this is the system I will use at the end of my stream. Timeline for you guys, previous skill tournaments, we are on the 5th match day, and there are 3 more match days to go. And the games are held on every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday or Sunday. So the leaderboard, top 8, the top 8 of the leaderboard will advance to the Blitz Cup preliminaries, and during the Blitz Cup preliminaries, it will be held on the 5th, 7th, 9th, and 11th of October, and the top 4 of that will advance to the Blitz Cup. For the Asia server, it's going to be held on the 7th to the 8th of November, instead of the 28th to the 29th of November, as stated in the previous streams, which is wrong, and that's the dates for the NA server, the Blitz Cup. Schedule for you here, the finals will be held in around 8 minutes, and this is going to be the last game you will be seeing tonight. The time given here is in Hong Kong time. That's the time in Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Western Australia, Timor-Leste. I don't think Indonesia is it. I don't know if we've got parts of Russia and Mongolia. And this is the bracket for you guys. Now we are streaming ID versus Feast in the finals. Feast finally back in the finals after their shock exit in against KDS02 back in the group stage on Saturday. And the third place match will be RN against HLV. The coverage for you, Footage Splits will be streaming Feast alongside, and I will be streaming RN. And the finals, okay, stream has disconnected for some reason. Okay, well, that will be fine. So please tell me if there are issues, because I changed some settings for the stream tonight. You're seeing the 1080p 60 frames per second, and hopefully you won't be seeing any buffering issues. Here we see RN currently in the first place, 30,998 cups. If they finish third, they will earn more cups potentially, and ID or Feast will get the 2011 cups tonight. I will see which team will get it. This is how you can get coins. Again, I will be showing this on the screen. If you haven't done so, do it. And my moderators on the right in the chat will put the link there. If you're lazy, just click on the link and just follow the instructions stated here on the stream.
That feeling that you give is one of a kind. I've been protesting that these feelings are mine. I gotta tell you, cause I'm losing my mind. Was acting stupid for you, that's what she likes. 1,000 waiting to get up by your side. But now you've made your choice, and girl, so have I. Yeah, you know who I am. Who I am. I'm coming for you, gonna break down the door. I give it all.
Oh, thank you for a new subscriber. That's really good to see.
Been to Phoenix, out to Detroit and LA. And every night another town, another place. But every time I close my eyes for the day, I see you moving, yeah, I like what I say. 1,000 waiting to get up by your side. But now you've made your choice, and girl, so have I. Yeah, you know who I am.
So do we have the room? Oh, we already have the room. So I'm okay. Yeah, that's why a bit late. Wait, is it no, it's fine. It's fine. There we go. We are on Alpenstadt. Let me bring the map for you guys. Alpenstadt is the map we're going to brief. Alpenstadt. In my opinion, the north side you have more advantage just because you're closer to caps on both A and C. On the south side, you have better advantage going to C because I think it's easy to defend here. While on A, it's a bit wacky. It's a bit difficult to do so. You, however, have this advantage here with a medium tank or light tank spawning up tanks going to C. So kind of you need to use that to your own advantage. Feast has shown us you can spot with this position over to this side, crossing into C. I think it's like could do the job in the end. However, if you want to get B, you need to be really careful because it's really exposed over to D side. So enemies just need to get some really good crossfire and then you might be heavily punished. We saw a lot of clans getting hard punished terribly trying to get B and a cap advantage there. If you manage to get a cap advantage then it's good, but if you have to lose a lot of damage, a lot of hit points while doing so, it's not worth it in the end. A TD might be a really good idea here, but problem is it doesn't have lots of hit points and it doesn't have turret as well, so for rotation wise it's not the best idea at all. So I forgot this one again what I'm talking about. This is the map Alpenstadt for you, just kind of, you know, just move what I just said into this so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you don't need me to repeat. Yeah. Right, so here we go, the lineups for you. Feast, Mad Dogs in the IS4 alongside Sleeping Lion Hong Kong. XPM WW in the E5 alongside CXCX. Bumugu in the 140, Bifrost in the 215B, and we have Silver in the Vegas Light. Cobalt is spectating here. An active duty on the ID team is in the IS4 alongside Lani and Van Persie. Chitsuru is in the E5 alongside Plurielica, and then we have Gabe in the Vegas Light and IDS in the Mouse. So allow me to eat some biscuits here, I'm sorry. Immediately we're going to see where they're going to go. Oh no, BMU has 800 pain, that's not good to see. Potassium. It's dropping. Fix or kick. Oh Jesus. Not really good for BMU. You had one job. That's good to hear. ID going for A. Feast also going for A. Or not. So it's going to be mostly A and B strategy for both teams. Silver going for C. He's going to cap C potentially. He wants to get some spots in, but he's spotting up nothing. However, those IS4s though, if he knows that someone is there, oh, he's got spotted, oh, he wants to run away. He knows he might be in trouble. Mika got spotted and he might get rushed by the ID forces here. Is he able to run away though? Because he needs to run away before the ID forces are able to get crossfire in. He's not running away, which I don't know. Maybe they're trying to push out the E5s, potentially. Oh, and Simply Lion now going for A immediately. Well, that's a really bold call, but it will work. Because who's there to reset A, game is running away, so now Feast might have an advantage. He really insisting on this position, which I don't understand because he's asking ID to focus him down. Lanny took a big hit, Florialica took a big hit, now Sleeping Lion Hong Kong is getting the backside of Florialica. He might be in trouble. Florialica getting double tapped, triple tapped, and Sleeping Lion is using the adrenaline here. Just Chitsuru is my waifu, is coming and it puts a really good shell into Sleeping Lion Hong Kong, and Florialica gets another shot. And Bumuga going for Chitsuru instead, which is understandable given Florialica is not visible at that time. CXCX cannot be cannot be finished off by CXCX, but Maddox is also down on the other side. Hit point wise, it's not in favor of ID at all. Chitsuru is isolated, but Bifrost is also it's also isolated at some point as well. He needs to stay safe. He's not staying safe at the moment. Chitsuru is down to a one-shot, and hit point still not in favor of Feast at all. Bifrost is trying to run away from this quagmire here, and Gayam is, oh my god, Bumugu, oh, Silver bumped into Bumugu, and Bumugu bounces, I presume, and Bumugu's trying to stay safe. Silver showing the sides to kind of a last-ditch effort to kind of shield one another, but ID has a lot of head point advantage, and Bumugu bounces again. Is track this time, and Gayam's down CXCX on the reactive armor, but he is going to be dead on the Van Persie. Silver is dead as well. Landy getting shot, and Bifrost is getting pushed by IDS. Bifrost getting double tapped, and Track as well put a good shell into Landy, but IDS rammed Bifrost. Last man standing Bumugu. I think the problem here is potentially Feast a bit spread out. Maddox at a very advanced position, which I don't know where he died, but Feast not able to kill off the isolated tanks of I quick enough. I think that could be the reason why they lost. In the first game, Feast lost the first game. Maddox only able to put up 430 damage. Bumugu 1135 killing one, but Silver 2110. But I did much better here. Van Persie and Chitsuru doing more than 3k. IDS almost 3k in the mouse, so really impressive job by ID here. First game to ID. Fujit is here alongside Eternal Zinzan and also Xiangkun. Okay, we only have 25 seconds left, so again, lineup here is here. Adox in the IS4, triple E5 played by XP and WW, Bifrost in CXCX, Bumugu in the 140, Silver in the Vickers Light, and Sleepy Lion also back in the IS4. ID going with active duty in the E5 alongside Gaiam and Van Persie. Chitsuru in the IS4 alongside Lani and Plurielica in the mouse alongside IDS. Ooh, just in time. You can no one's voted for whoever wants to whoever will win that fixture. Let's head up high and see where both teams will go. ID mostly going mostly to C this time, while Feast again going for A and Bumugu getting aggressive into that position to hold down and potentially get spotted. So he's going past it. They know potentially ID are not in A at all. And that's a really good information there. And now Feast will have cap lead. And look at how slow they are over to C. That's why it's not the that's why Northside has the advantage here. And now ID going for B. Would that be a good idea? Now Feast can farm that off here, and they probably won't have advantage potentially. Oh no, but ID got the cap lead. Maddox bouncing onto the tanks here. I think that was a really big oops here, and now ID is taking some hits there. Hit points still neck and neck, but then Freeze needs to plan a rotation here. ID although have 2 caps. They need to make sure they don't drop too many hit points, and they are now dropping hit points at the moment. Feast not actually totally immune of dropping hit points though. Sleeping Lion Hong Kong dropping a bit of hit points, but still ID with 1k of hit point advantage. He can farm a lot of damage here. Van Persie getting tagged by Sleeping Lion Hong Kong here. And ID dropping a lot of hit points now. They don't have hit point advantage, and that will put them in lots of bad situations here. And active duty take a big hit, 885. What is ID doing here? I have no idea. Sleeping Lion potentially gets rushed by active duty, and ID they're now barreling in. The mediums alliance are going in to shut down a tank. They have the DPM. They're going for the caps instead. And now Chitsuru is down. Sleeping Lion is going to be down very soon. Gaiam dropping the reactive armor, and that means Bumugu is going to ignore Gaiam, which is a really good call. And Bumugu is going for IDS instead. He could kill off IDS, and that would be really good. And he doesn't want to bump into IDS though. He didn't bump into IDS, and now IDS is down to 1 shot, and he didn't get damage from that ram here. And IDS is down now. ID is getting A, while Feast is getting B at the moment. Feast now have more than 1k of hit point, no, 3k of hit point advantage. Active duty getting rushed by the Feast forces though. And now active duty is down. Plurielica in the mouse, the second last man standing. Where is Gaiam? Gaiam coming from behind, and he killed off Maddox. And now it's 2 versus 5. It's going to be second game for Feast here. Oh man, Gaiam taking 723 damage. Plurielica taking 325. Gaiam dropping the reactive armor. Plurielica down to 1 shot. He got killed by Bifrost. Gaiam bounce from F Silver. Gaiam can't hold long for this, and he's now finally second game to Feast. And I think everything went down the spiral when ID dropped a lot of hit points there. Yes, they might have B, but they drop a lot of hit points, and Feast are able to work the focus fire and also the crossfire very well indeed. And that push on the Sleeping Lion, I don't know why, that's very uncoordinated, and active duty took a back hit while doing that crossing here. And that means ID could only put only around 11,000 hit points worth of damage for Erica, and the mouse doing more than 3k, while Bifrost doing more than 4k of hit points, killing 3 in return. Bimugi very important as well, 2 kills, 3.4k damage. And definitely that game redeemed his somewhat awful performance in the first one. And let's see. Feast on Oasis Palms is kind of like, is it there? It's sometimes a good map for them, sometimes a bad map for them, but usually lost with cap disadvantage. Let's see, the tiebreaker, Oasis Palms definitely not their best map in my opinion. So now Feast going with Maddox and the IS4 alongside Sleeping Lion, Hong Kong, XP and WW in the E5 alongside Bifrost and CX. Bumugani 140 and Silver in the Vegas Light. ID. Active duty in the E5, Chitsura in the IS4 alongside Lani Porialica. Game in the 1-on-3 alongside Van Persie, wrapped up by IDS and the mouse. On the subspanch, we still have Cobalt on the subspanch, while Last Hope for me is on the subspanch. Let's see where they're going to go. Deserts. Would that be the choice for Feast? Because they want the map control. They only have 2 mediums of lights though. While again, ID going with no mediums or lights, and you saw last time how it worked terribly against them. They should ditch that strat because I think it's a bad strat in my opinion. Silver spotting. They know there is no mediums of lights going to see. With that lineup, that's pretty obvious. So Silver's going to cap C very quickly. Chitsuru is spotted. IDS is spotted. And now Feast will have cap lead. Oh, Chitsuru is getting shot here. Oh, bounce from Bimugi to Chitsuru. Silver's trying to shoot into Chitsuru, but he can't. Actually, ID is trying to go for B. Again, this track, Maddox taking 383. And ID would get cap lead this time. A lot of bounces happening from Feast's side, though. Maddox going very aggressive to reset IDS, but again he bounces onto IDS and they got B here. Maddox might be in trouble. He's going to get tagged heavily. IDS getting heavily punished while trying to pull back. He's getting heavily punished though, but Maddox is also very isolated. He might be down very soon. Needs to stay safe though. Bifrost 363. Is he going to put another shell into IDS? But he's taking ever more hits though. He puts a really good shell into IDS. IDS is down potentially, but Maddox is down already. CX going in though. He needs to be careful though. Now Plurielica and IDS are coming in to support Chitsuru. And CX, he can't work with against the depression now. ID has a lot of hit point advantage. And the bounces on the CX onto Chitsuru. And the Feast members need to come in and save CX. Because he might not be long for this well. Sleeping Lion Hong Kong is getting the push from the WZ-113s. The Feast tanks, however, not end to save CX for some weird reason here. Is he going to kill off? Put a shell in. He puts a really good shell into game. Landing game getting punished though. Hit points now very bad in the disadvantage of Feast. Sleeping Lion might be down very soon. And Van Persie now 479. But Sleeping Lion able to be unable to kill off Van Persie. And ID now have more than 900 cap points of advantage here. Silver bounces onto Van Persie. And he kills Van Persie. XBM WW is dropping the reactive armor. Silver needs to kill off Game as soon as possible. And another miss and bounce. Oh man. Feast so many miss and bounces here. That I think it's not really good for them at all. And XBMWW bounces onto Game. Oh man. Bermuda is killed and ID actually got this for some weird reason. Bifrost is down. What is this performance by Feast though? So many bounces and misses from the Feast side. Basically you can see just so many misses and bounces, and you can show you here how many misses and bounces have they done. Iron Battle's only doing 0 damage. 2 shots fired, none penetrated. CX. Oh dear, only managed to put 2 shells in with 5 shots fired. Bumugu, man, 9 shots, 9 pans, and 6 with 9 shots compared to, I mean, 9 penetrations over 16 shots fired. Sleeping Lion, 6 penetrations compared to 9 shots fired. Silver, 9 shots fired, 9 penetrations compared to 13 shots fired. Bifrost, 7 penetrations compared to 12 shots fired. XBMWW, 9 penetrations compared to 13 shots fired. I wonder how it could have gone differently. Shall these penetrate more than half of these missed or bounced shells? Look at Game, like, yeah, 3 bounces, but Lanny almost all of his shots into Feast side, and Chitsuru, yeah, not very good though, but active duty, yeah, I mean, yeah, lots of bounces and misses happening. Oh wow, so that ID is doing not a lot though. Yeah, I mean, both teams bounce and misses a lot of shots, but it in the end, I think it is Feast who bounced so many shots, and those minions like didn't really do that amazing job here. I mean, you can see Aaron doing a lot better with the 140 and the Vicky Slide in the end. And here is it. ID got home with a win against Feast. HLV on the other hand won 2-1 against RN.
I've been working, you complaining, feel the pressure crashing over me. I understand you're losing patience, cause it feels like an eternity. Just think of the foreign cars and those golden stars on the sidewalk.
So the table is updated as follows. Now we saw RN still in the first place with 30,798 cups. ID pulling closer in the second place with 30,132 cups. GV in the third place with 29,586 cups. Feast second place, 28,685 cups. HLV in the fifth place, 27,985 cups. Sorry. So let's see if I use my system. Do we have any changes in the leaderboard? Yeah, let's see if I use my system. Do we see any changes here? And this is going to be the change here. RN still the first with 826 cups, but ID also now in the third place, the second place 701 cups. Feast up to the third place, 696 cups. GV 642 cups in the fourth position. KDS actually will be taking home the fifth place instead with 594 cups. XLV in the sixth with 497 cups. Cats seventh place with 487 cups, and Low with 414 cups. And they pulled a really big distance away from Boone. who only managed to reap up 243 cups. But then you have the same top 8, so like the Asian server, the top 8 is pretty much set in stone, unless Spoon or NIC are going to do a lot of amazing stuff in the next 3 match days, and that will be very important because they really need to up their performance there. So let's switch back to the official cup system. Right. So I don't think we have anyone here yet. If there's no one showing up to do some kind of post-match punting, I mean, I probably will end the stream very soon. We will see. Right, for those guys who are still watching, if you don't want to wait for too long, so I'm going to play a match, I'm going back into the EU server, just because I'm done for the Asia server for tonight, so I'll hop back to the EU server, and before I continue, I'll log in first, and I'll play a match. Oh, hello, Fujit.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, and you?
I enjoyed that. That was good fun.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was exciting as well. Feast against ID. That definitely didn't expect ID to win the last one though, because the lineup I was thinking it's going to work against them terribly, but they have an idea with that.
Well, what you didn't see was Beast going out earlier against HLV, where they played the same strat. They played that strat on that map
Right.
twice.
Oh, you mean Feast played that strat, like Feast taking
same meta, same strat.
Right.
Against HLV twice, and HLV played a similar strat, all into the desert, apart from a single lone mouse into the city.
Right.
And Feast turned them over.
Right.
Now it wouldn't be surprising if somebody from ID were watching those matches,
right,
and may have picked up on that, which is why they rotated through the A cap. Now, I was saying to the guys in the chat, because everybody's saying, "Oh, you know, who takes a lone mouse on Oasis Palms?" I said it can work. A lone mouse can work on Oasis Palms, but not on a C strat, which is what HLV did. So they sent all of their tanks apart from the mouse, to C.
Yeah.
Which made the mouse very, very isolated and useless, to be fair.
Yeah.
What ID did is the normal type of strat with a mouse. Send it into the city.
Yeah.
Send the rest of your tanks around to A.
Right.
Realistically. which is
Actually,
what they did.
yeah, actually they did it against RN. I mean, ID against RN, but that strat got completely destroyed, got completely decimated by RN's forces threats because
Mm,
RN they have like because ID have like two ice force at the back, which is horrendously isolated, didn't rush with the
yes.
ID forces, and also they managed to kind of with the mediums and lights of Aaron's team played much better there, trying to shut down those
Mm,
isolated heavy tanks, and which, in my opinion, they didn't help that E5 there, which is very weird, considering that
mm,
they could have done that and distracted those heavy tanks and could have saved that E5 for the feast side, but they
mhm,
didn't.
mhm.
And Maddox doing 0 damage, which is not the best you want to say.
Max was there for both the HLV games as well. He was in
Yeah,
the IS4 in that center area. But in
yeah,
the first game against HLV, he came on stuck
yeah,
against the mouse. And
right.
in the second game, he didn't. He played completely differently and got the upper hand. But
Right.
even so, he was the sacrificial lamb
Yeah, he
against the
was.
mouse
Yeah,
because all he was there to do was whittle down the mouse and keep the mouse tied up, which he
yeah,
did successfully. The
yeah,
thing that ID did, if you noticed,
yeah.
as soon as they noticed that the whole of the feast team were in the desert, they
Right.
just winged their 113s right round the map
That's
to
true. That's
try and
true.
flank them. And
That's true.
the 113s suddenly come up against Sleeping Lion, who's incredibly isolated now.
That's true.
And with the 113's DPM, they were just able to turn it round.
Right. Yeah.
Then you get on the far side of the map, you've got Boone Magoo, F Silver, and I can't remember who else it was, to
In
be totally
E5.
honest, in the E5,
Yeah.
pushing onto the IS4
Yeah.
that was sat there protecting that flank,
Yeah.
and they came unstuck because ID were able to rotate back in to put guns
Yeah.
on
That's
that side of
true.
the.
So that I think they learned from that RN's loss though. They didn't say anyone to kind of support those IS4s, and this time they
Mm,
did it. So they definitely learned from their mistake. But as I said, Oasis Palms is definitely a map that you definitely want some mediums or lights in there, just because you want the information up, and you saw how quickly Feast got the C cap there, knowing that ID took no mediums or lights and the TD.
mhm.
And it's also a pretty open map and big map to kind of do crossfire with mediums and lights as well.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely,
that's why I
absolutely.
was saying like ID strat there. I think it's a bad strat, but I think the bigger problem here is that Feast didn't make use of their mediums and lights, and also they bounced a, 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 a
There
C
were a lot of bounces. Yeah, there
a
were a lot of
lot of
bounces.
bounces and misses, and I say should they not bounce or miss half of their shells, that could have swung that hit point pool deficit. I mean, that could have mitigated that
I
deficit.
mean,
And
I mean,
yeah,
I agree with you. But forgetting Oasis Palms for the moment,
right, yeah,
I just want to take you back to the second game on Alpenstadt.
yeah, that's
And
true, yeah,
the reason I want to take you back to that,
right,
I don't know if you were of the same opinion as me, but ID had the advantage. They had two caps.
yeah, they had two caps. It's
They
yeah,
all they had to do was sit back and defend, knowing
true,
damn well that they had two mouses.
right,
And they also had a lot of guns that could sit there and just watch the B cap and the
yeah.
flanks. So, can you explain to me what was going through their mind when they pushed on Sleeping Lion?
I think what they had in mind, because they knew those mouses there at the very far forward, and I think they are worried that Feast are going to kind of pincer them in the end and trying to kill them off, and that's why they want to kind of push the line forward. But by doing so, they they came under fire by a lot of angles. Like they got absolutely
Absolutely
crossfired.
smack pushing onto Sleeping
Absolutely.
Lion.
Yeah, absolutely smart pushing on to Sleeping Lion, and they're trying to kind of also regroup their forces while trying to defend the cap lead early on, and
Hmm.
also and then they took a lot of hits while doing so, because the crossfire, the positions taken by Feast is really good, are really
Yeah,
good,
they
like
were. They were fantastic.
fantastic,
Fantastic
yeah,
positioning.
and
And as you saw there, I mean, every single E5 that popped over towards Sleeping Lion just
yeah.
got absolutely wrecked.
Absolutely wrecked. So in the end, yeah, getting B cap as well. The problem is how are you going to get away from that? But we also saw that ID with the mouse that gets absolutely focused down. No, I mean, I'll be, let's say RN also, Feast also. That strategy, I think, is a really, really risky strategy. Then I don't agree with that, to be honest with you.
No.
No,
Of interest, I mean, I know what the answer is going to be because you like
right.
your mediums. On the second game on Alpenstadt, not a medium, not a light for ID. Do you think that's an advantage, or because nothing to spot? There's no,
Yeah, nothing to spot, nothing
you're
to kind of
playing
no
blind.
DPM. The DPM is not there. Yeah. So I was,
It's almost a blind.
yeah,
Because you've got to anticipate where they're going to be, and you sort
a
of
lot
know
of
that if you
gambling.
are
Yeah,
where you are.
yeah, and a lot of gambling
It's
as well. It's very risky.
But I thought Feast played that second game on Alpenstadt fantastically.
Yeah, I
I
did
thought
think so.
they held their nerve. They didn't panic.
Yeah,
Sleeping Lion did a fantastic job where he was. He held off basically 3 tanks.
that's
Admittedly,
true.
those 3 tanks all got absolutely trashed,
That's
making
true.
them move on to Sleeping Lion. But they did well.
Right.
Whereas in the first game on Alpenstadt, let's talk
Yeah.
about that one.
Oh dear, I think that the Feast kind of the push onto those isolated tanks took them a little bit too long. I mean that push is alright, but then a little bit too careful for my taste and allowed ID to just push on the other side more quickly. By the time ID was rotating back to deal with the other side, Feast still haven't got all the tanks there, and that I think was the main reason why they lost. And as well, I think they took 3 mediums and lights, and that was very, very soft lineup. And to win against them, you need to be either like going for win strategy, like going very aggressive, kill all tanks at the start, or you
Yeah.
just have to kind of like rotate a lot. And I think what goes down very poorly. I mean, what I think a big mistake from Feast that the Boom Mugu, I think in the 140, getting
Boomerang,
already
yeah.
even in the information up didn't rotate back. I mean, what are you going to do there in that bush? You're not going to do anything here. Just the Ali's tanks are probably shielded, and you probably might get crossfired by tanks in the B side as well. So I would say he needs to start running away sooner or later.
Well, to be honest with you, in that game, it was unlike Boomagoo because he's normally in the 140 and
Yeah.
he's normally rolling around the map like a fool all
Yeah,
over the place,
yeah,
uh,
that's what I like to see. That's what you should be doing in the medium tank, running around the map.
which is what he normally does. So I was very surprised when I
Yeah,
saw him sort of bit static. I
yeah.
don't know if Feast were having ping issues or whatever.
Oh, they said
At one stage,
they said at the
at one stage
start.
Maddox wasn't in the game,
Yeah,
and then he suddenly was. And in some of the games, it looked like he was struggling.
right,
So I don't know if he was having ping issues.
right. But I mean, Bimugu in the 140. He did say that he got like 800 ping at the start, but then he said it dropped.
Okay, so
Yeah,
there could have been some of that going on as well. You
yeah,
just never know.
could possibly. Yeah, I mean, usually ID kind of gets the advantage when the other team has some issues with ping. I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong though. I mean, because obviously I've been with Feast all day today, and
Yeah.
to be perfectly frank and fair,
Hmm.
they were dominant. I mean, they were dominant against low. They were
Yeah.
dominant against HLV.
Yep.
Some of the gameplay they played on Dynasty's Pearl against low was beautiful to watch. Some of the
Right.
counter pushes,
Right.
and some of their strats.
Hmm.
The second game on Dynasty's Pool was particularly nice.
Yeah.
Low took out 250Bs, and I think they had 2 mouses.
Right.
And Feast just parked their IS4s
Hmm.
at the back of the map and just
Right.
waited for them.
Yeah.
And once they came through,
Yes.
they sacrificed a tank and were
Right.
just able to basically flank round and just take them all out, which was really good.
Right. Really good. That's
Same
exactly.
with HLV.
Yeah.
So how did your games go? Because who were you with? You were with
RN.
ID and RN.
Alright,
Yeah.
well, yeah, the Dynasty's Poe. The first game, GB only had six because they don't have people didn't come in time, didn't come punctually, and that was an easy win for RN. And the second game, they had 7. GB had 7, and as you said, that those IS4s at the back, they did some things as well, and GB didn't push them in the end. But GB
Hmm.
tried to make a rotation, but got completely outspotted by RN's forces. So that means RN is able to respawn to that information, and they make a counter rush to C, able to take down 1 or 2 tanks there. And at the in the end, GV tried to push on the double bounces, and also RN pushed on the only 2 bounces of GV. So at one point,
Hmm.
RN seemed to be giving up a bit of their hit point pool lead, but in the end, they got up on top. While for the ID and RN games are very exciting games though. The first one could have gone for an RN win should that T22 did not should the T22 not bounce onto the IS4, because it
Hmm.
was like 700 something hit points and the IS4 is 470 something hit points. So that means that T22 needs 2 shots in. But then he bounced the first shots and he puts the second shell in, but by the time he's reloading the third shell, that IS4 was able to put another shell in, and it was a win for ID on the Oasis Palms. But a lot of good crossfire from RN going on. But ID also did really well in crippling some of the important tanks. But I think what went down very wrong for RN is that Becky's like going into A, but then all the heavies are turning around and just completely pincer that tank while rotating Vicky's light. And then you
Ah.
have the tiebreaker map on Naval Frontier, where ID came out of nowhere, captured that B base. In the end, RN was like 985 cap points there, and ID was like 910 and 20. But ID killed 1 tank, and that means ID won that tiebreaker match in the end. So it was
Ah.
really close. Like the rotation from ID was also outsported by RN, but RN didn't have a really good respawn stage. They kind of absorbed that push. Like they kind of
Mhm.
sent everyone to there, but they have double 50B, so one of the E5s got killed very early on. And ID was able to kind of use the 50Bs very effectively there, and RN just simply wasn't able to kind of counter those 50Bs in the end.
So I know you're a bit of a nerd sometimes.
Yeah.
You've no doubt worked out the leaderboard already
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, I did already.
because it hasn't updated yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we were previously looking at RN on the top, followed by
Yeah,
GV and ID. No
yeah.
doubt there's been some changes.
There is definitely. So, leaderboard. Currently, the first place is RN with 30,798 cups. Second
Hmm.
place will be occupied by ID with 30,132 cups. GV
Okay.
in the third place with 29,586 cups. And then we have
Hmm.
Feast in the fourth place with 28,685 cups. We have
So
HLV.
slowly catching GV. Okay.
Yeah, slowly catching him. HLV in the fifth place with 27,988 cups. Low in the sixth place with 26,828 cups. Cats in the seventh place with 26,224 cups. And KDS in the eighth spot with 24,596 cups. And we have the ninth place in the ninth place by NIC with
Yes,
22,917
because did I
cups.
see played well yesterday and today? So
Yesterday,
they jumped
yes.
up tonight for knocking Boone and calm down, I assume.
Yeah, but they lost to HLV 0-2 very quickly though, so I don't know what happened there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So Boone down into 10th now, yes?
yeah. Down in the 10th,
And calm down.
22,896. Down to 11, yeah, calm to 11, and
So
XR 12.
realistically, let's look at it from a realistic viewpoint. Okay, Cats
Yeah.
had a horrible tour to yesterday and today.
Yeah, yesterday
So
because they
they
because
weren't in today.
they weren't in today, lost to KDS.
Yes.
Yep, 1-2, which is unfortunate.
But
But
Cats had 26,000 and KDS only had 23. So KDS are still in the danger zone, really.
yes,
They are in danger of not making the top 8 unless they can consistently pull off
yeah.
some good games.
Yeah, which they have, they have
Mhm.
actually. So I ain't too worried about them. Low have been picking up some results lately, but we'll see because, in my opinion, in the top 8, I think they are the most dangerous in falling out. I think they are just they
Yeah,
got held massively by the win rate seeding though. But
sure. But I mean, they've got how many points have you got now? 24,000 cups.
no, low 26,828 cups. So they have a lot of
No,
lead
KDS I
over
meant. Sorry,
KDS
KDS.
24,596 cups. But they have more than 1,000 cups of lead there. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, KDS are the because at the start of today they were almost 3,000. They were 2,000 and something cups behind, almost 3,000 to be fair.
right.
And so they're trailing quite a long way back. I mean, they're narrowing the
Yes.
gap now with
Right.
today's performance,
Right.
but there is in the background nipping at their heels
Right.
those other guys. So
But then they haven't been doing really well lately. Like Boone haven't qualified since the second previous year tournaments.
yeah, I know
Wow,
Boone have
yeah,
really fallen off the
fallen
burner
off.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And that's the only time where they qualified to the second stage. While Calm, this is going to be if I could get it right, yeah. They only qualified twice in the second stage.
Mhm.
XR have fallen terribly far off. I think they lost to NIC if I remember correctly. I couldn't remember, but
Yeah, I think that's
XR,
yeah.
yeah, XR had a good start, but then they could have qualified to the second stage in the last 3 match days, including this one.
Mhm.
So like XR are falling from the top very quickly.
So do we know who came third today? I can find out now.
GV.
So third place was RN at
GV.
HLV.
Oh yeah, RN HLV. RN won
And
2.
HLV got third place.
Yeah, HLV got third place 2-1 against RN. Yeah.
Yeah, so well played HLV there.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
that's
That
true.
that helps them in cementing their place in the top 8.
That's true.
I mean, there's only how many games to go now? There's only 3 rounds to go now, I believe, after today. So with the 3 rounds left to go,
Right.
pretty fair to say that at least the top 7 are almost set in stone.
I think
Almost,
top 8. I would say top 8 because I don't see how KDS would not get top 8 because
there
they've
you
been
go.
really strong. They've been really
Yeah.
strong, and I don't think they will get out of top 8 anytime soon.
Okay. Well, with only 3 rounds left to go, it would take a miracle for KDS not to be
In the top
in the
8.
top 8.
Yeah, it would be a miracle.
So, but at least we KDS are the ones in the danger zone, admittedly.
Admittedly,
But the other 7,
they
the other
just
7
showed
are pretty much there.
Yeah, they also danger zone in another respect though.
Well, very true. That's what I mean. They're in the danger zone for a few reasons.
A few reasons,
But,
not just
a few
being at the 8th in the table, but
No,
other
no.
reason.
Yeah. So, but pretty much we can say that the other 7 are definitely going through.
Definitely, yeah.
Towards the Pro Tour. So it's just who gets that final spot. It could be KG. It could be KDS. It may not be KDS.
It may not be, yeah.
The jury is out on that for the moment.
Yeah, and but then you have to be careful that Low or Cats can sleepwalk outside of top 8 potentially, because Cats, I can tell you, Cats, they didn't qualify for 2 of the
They didn't know.
second stage, and
Correct.
then Low. Low didn't. Low qualified to all the second stage. So yes, Cats could sleepwalk, and Low. They actually won Nova 2-1. So they need to be careful not to lose against some of the clans that are outside of top 8 though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all to play for. There's still three rounds left though. So.
3 rounds left. Yeah, and kind of I have to advertise here because Friday night with Wild, I've invited you personally as well. on
Nice.
Friday at 7 in the Central European Summertime, we are going to have an open forum, and we're going to discuss team by team all the top
excellent.
all the top 8 candidates on the EU server and maybe even Asia server. And if you're one of the clan members, if you're one of the clan members and who have the logo of let's say GV, Low, Cats, and KDS, do send them to me in the inbox. It would be really nice.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. And with that, you're streaming later today on EU.
On EU, I'll be following Win instead of Veil. I need to change that thumbnail because Veil is going to face Legion, which is going to stream by both Amunet and Fujit, and both of them will be co-commentating alongside.
We are co-commentating tonight. We are double commentary.
Double
I'm
commentary.
joining forces with Amunet.
Yes.
We will be streaming first off the bat Phoenix against Immor.
Yes.
Followed by
Legion
against Veil.
Yes.
So it's going to be a good night, and like I said, it's a double commentary. So we're both chatting away together. So
right,
not to be missed. It's not a coin stream. That is with every good name is taken, I believe.
No, I believe it's not. I believe it's Amunet. I think.
Oh, is it Amunet?
I think so because she said to me that they didn't arrange for that change at the end. So.
Oh, I couldn't remember.
I don't know, but we'll see.
Let me just check the chart because I lose track on who's got what coin stream, and I have to keep looking at the chart because
it's been up here. It's previous skill. Definitely, it's going to be Amunet stream because if it's every name seconds, because he hasn't changed that title yet. It still says Path of Skill, I presume.
Let's have a look. See who it is. So.
Yes, it's Amunet. Yeah, it's Amunet.
Oh, it is because Avery did. Yes, so today the 16th is Amunet.
Yes,
that's correct.
Right,
it's me on the 20th. So that's good. That's also going to be another commentatory stream, by the way.
Yes,
with Amunet.
No, it's going to be me and Amunet for.
No, that's on the
Sunday.
27th. On the 27th is yours.
Yes, and also, wait. I'm talking about co-commentary. Yeah, which is going to be every Sunday with Amunet for me.
On the 27th is yours. Okay, so you're going to do EU on the Sunday as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't realise.
No, I mean 20. The 20th is the coin stream is yours. I didn't have coin stream there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Frank, you're doing.
No, I've got the coin stream. I got the coin stream on the 20th.
Yeah.
And then on the 23rd,
it's going to be mine.
I'm talking about. The 23rd, which is the Wednesday, I should be co-commentating with Amunet.
Yes, that's true.
And you're co-commentating with Amunet on the 27th.
Yes, and 20th.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so there you go. Right. So, like I said, we're both back later. We had a good recap there of what's happening today. By all means, come and join us both later on today, guys.
Yep.
On the EU server.
That's true. And then we also have something tomorrow, I believe. Zenith League, Zenith. Are we going to stream Zenith tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that later.
Right.
Because we need to work out who we're going to go with, and I don't know yet.
Okay. So we're definitely going to. I'm not going to stream. I'm going to. Fuji's going to stream. We're going to practice against the co-commentary stuff. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, and with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you to everybody on YouTube for watching. Don't forget, get your backsides over to WoTB's YouTube channel as well. Show him some love.
Please. Please.
He will be streaming the next coin stream on Asia, so show him some love.
That's true. And hopefully I didn't make some stupid mistakes.
And you heard what he said. We're going to have a good old chat about the game and the tournament, both Asia and EU and everything on Friday. He's hosting that.
Yeah.
So again, show him some love. Come and join in.
On the voice chat. I mean, everyone can join. If just head into my one of my videos and you will see the link of my Discord server. Join that, and I think I'll be there in one of these open voice chats. So I'll see you all there.
Yeah. There you go.
Right.
So that should be enough time now for you to get all your in-game goodies. It's been 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Right. That's
Almost.
good.
Well, actually, it's not. It's been 2 hours 30 minutes for me. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes for you because obviously
Yep.
I have to start streaming earlier to make sure of the delay and everything.
Right.
So we'll be back again at the weekend. As I said, Wild Ones output will be at the coin stream for Asia. So
Right.
put that in your diaries, guys. I'm sure he's going to have some great teams to stream and some good stuff to show. Until then,
Right.
we're both back tonight on EU. So thank you for watching, and
Thank
I
you for
will catch
watching.
you all again soon.
Catch you all as well. Bye for now.
Excellent. See?
There we go.
Oof. Interesting game.